There's something as an e-commerce seller that you should be scared of, and that's not having your accounting and bookkeeping done correctly. If the government goes after you, it will hurt. The solution? Understanding this stuff properly and getting things in order. That's what we're going to cover in this video. Hello guys and girls, and welcome to the video. My name's Hayden. I've been selling for around 4 years on Amazon and I have done over £1.2 million. I am not a registered accountant, but I have worked with accountants and have been in control of my bookkeeping and accounting for many years now. So I think I've got quite a few good pointers to point you in the right direction. In this video, we're going to cover things under the umbrella of Amazon, eBay, Shopify, etc., the e-commerce accounting market in general. And mainly what we're going to be focusing on is the main difference between e-commerce accounting and how you do it as opposed to mainstream accounting. It's very, very different, guys. So get your cup of tea, get your cup of coffee, stay tuned, watch till the end of the video, and I'm going to give you some good guidance. So the exact 3 topics we're going to cover is where exactly to find your financial data. That's topic number 1. Number 2, we're going to cover all things cost of goods and inventory accounting. And we're going to be covering tax and compliance UK only. This is a UK based video. We're going to be going over the tax and the compliance, limited companies, sole trader, etc. What's the difference? What should you be? All that kind of good stuff. Let's dive into the video. Just before we dive in, let me shout out Awesome for sponsoring this video. They've been my specialist e-commerce and Amazon accountant for many years now, and you can get £100 off their accounting services below in the link, or you can get a company set up with them for only £12. Also, I'll leave that in the links below. So thanks Awesome for sponsoring this video. If you need a specialist e-commerce accounting after watching this and you can't be bothered or fed up of doing it all by yourself, definitely reach out to them. Section number 1, how to find your financial data. So many mainstream businesses, let's say a builder's merchant or an advertising agency or something like that, it's much easier to do the accounting for them sort of companies. And the reason being, money goes into the bank account, money goes out of the bank account. With e-commerce, your money can be held in foreign accounts, third-party accounts like PayPal, for example, that are transitioning your money in between you and your bank account, your third sales platform. You're going to have money held on your third-party sales platform, whether that's eBay, Shopify, Amazon. You may also have foreign accounts like Wise, and also you may have money in multiple credit cards that you are utilizing, guys. Money is all over the place. So a bad accountant, like I've used in the past, and I won't tell you my horror stories in this video, but in the past, I've used an accountant that wasn't an e-commerce specialist. And what this accountant did was treated me like a service-based business. All they saw was the deposit from Amazon going into my bank account, and they started creating my books, doing my end of year books, doing my VAT sort of stuff based around that. It's completely inaccurate, guys. Here's the thing. In terms of your bank account, what a normal accountant would see is your Amazon deposit into your bank account. But that's just seeing your gross profit left over, guys. What about gift cards? What about your shipping fees? What about your Amazon FBA fees? None of that's being calculated here, therefore your books are not being done properly. This stuff needs tracking. Now, what's the solution for this? The solution is to use multiple online softwares, accounting software, for you to track this properly. This could be Link My Books, QuickBooks, A2X. All of these types of things can be used for Amazon and e-commerce when you're doing your accounting. Not only that, you need to know, or your accountant needs to know, your specialist accountant, what reports to pull, the correct reports to pull so they can fill the dots, fill the gaps that them softwares aren't getting. Not only do the correct reports need to be pulled from Amazon, from eBay, from Shopify, but that software will be capturing all of the linked cards, your credit cards, your third-party bank accounts, your foreign bank accounts, whatever sort of bank accounts that you're using. Link My Books, QuickBooks, all that sort of stuff will link, okay, that software will link all of this together. So between your correct cards being linked with Link My Books, between Xero, between A2X, whatever you're using, Between the correct reports being pulled and someone that knows what they're doing, that's when you're going to have that full compilation of the correct data that you need, not just the deposit from Amazon to your bank account. I can't stress enough how important this stuff is. Take it from me, someone that took the wrong accountant on and they almost got me in big trouble with VAT. You need to have a specialist e-commerce accountant like Awesome doing this, or you need to understand how to do this yourself. I personally would suggest you getting an e-commerce specialist as soon as you can afford it to save you the time so you can start making money in the business. Part 2, cost of goods and inventory data. So guys, what are you selling online? Unless you're selling digital media, which you're not, you're selling physical products. So you're going to have a cost of goods and you're going to have inventory. The inventory has a value that you paid for it, and the cost of good needs to be input into your software, into your data, so that you can track how much net profit you're making in your business. That's what we're going to discuss and cover in this part. So every product that you buy is going to have a cost of good, otherwise known as a COG. That cost of good needs to be input into a software that can track this. Now, I personally use Sellerboard to do this, which tracks my profit. I type in the cost of good and it will tell me my profit after all Amazon fees on that page. If you want a 2-month free trial to this, I'll put the link below. You can also use Sellerboard for eBay and Shopify. Not only do you need to input it into a software, but you need to allocate this purchase on a purchase tracker so that you have that data to either relay to your accountant at the end of your tax year or input that information yourself. Now, unfortunately, that's not all. The second part of this is your total stock value. When you're starting out, when you order, say, 10, 20 products into your home and then you prep them yourself, keeping hold of the stock value in your business is not a big issue. But when, and I do hope it's a when, you become really successful in your Amazon, eBay or Shopify e-commerce company, you're going to have products that are ordered and on the way to you or your warehouse or your third-party prep center. You're also, otherwise known as in transit, you're also going to have at any one time most likely products that are in your warehouse, in your third-party fulfillment center or in your home. You're also going to have products, if you use the Amazon FBA service, you're going to have products that are in the FBA warehouses at any one time. I'm sure you're seeing where I'm going here. Eventually, if you don't have software that tracks this, or if you don't have an internal process that you or your team are tracking this, it's going to be really hard to keep track of the total value of your company. You need to have a software, or you need to have internal checks from you or one of your company to understand how much that value in transit is worth, how much the value in the fulfillment centers is worth, how much the value in your warehouse is worth, and how much stock holdings have you got. Not to mention products that are damaged, products that have been returned from customers, etc., etc. All of this needs to be tracked. And the best way to track this is to do a stock take. Minimum, you need to provide your accountant, or for yourself, if you're doing your books yourself, every single time you do your end of year tax accounting, you need to provide your total cost of good that is in transit, in the warehouse, in the fulfillment centers, everywhere that you can track. You need to provide that data, that total stock value data to your accountant, or you need to provide it yourself so that you can get a good understanding of how much profit your business has made. Vitally important that this happens, guys. Ideally, this needs to be once a month. That's what we're trying to implement into our business at the moment, but it's not an easy thing to do. The absolute minimum is that after the high sales in December, the 1st of January, you make sure you make a note of your stock. Do your stock take, get the cost of goods of everything that you own so that you can provide at least that data to your accountant or to HMRC. So part number 3, we made it. Tax and compliance. This is UK based only, guys. Okay, I need to be sure. I need to make sure that you know that this is for UK sellers only, not for USA. Okay, this is for the UK tax laws only. Now, when you start out, okay, you can do what's classed as an individual seller account on Amazon or eBay. You don't even need to set up an account. You will just have your normal account. You don't have to sign up to a certain plan. You'll have your normal eBay account, okay? Shopify, you can start your website. Now, you don't have to register for a business until you make £1,000. Okay, so you can test the waters, guys. If you want to go down charity shops and resell a few bits, or if you want to buy a couple of bits from online stores and just resell it, sure, go ahead. You're not going to get in trouble, but once you start seeing consistent income, once HMRC can see a theme, and once you've made more than £1,000, it's really, really important that you register for one of the following. So you need to register as a sole trader or a limited company. Now, I'm not going to go into massive detail about both of them because I've done that in previous videos, and I will link the videos in the description below if you want to watch a full comparison of limited vs sole trader. But here's a brief summary, okay? If you're a limited company, you have more protection, okay? And if you're looking to take the company seriously, it's very important that you have it as a limited company from the off, in my personal experience. Now, I can't talk for platforms such as eBay or Shopify, but I do know that platforms like Amazon prefer you to be a limited company from the off. And I've heard a couple of horror stories in the past where someone started as a sole trader and then couldn't switch to a limited company when they wanted to, and it took them a few months to do that, which held their business back because they couldn't go over the threshold of the VAT. VAT is something we'll talk about in a minute. Also have protection as a limited company. Protection in many ways. Protection that your house isn't going to get taken. If your business goes into debt, you can close it down, and it's limited liability, guys. You know, clues in the name. Limited company, limited liability. Now, there is some benefits being a sole trader as well. And as I say, I've done a full comparison in the video, but that's the next stage. You've got to pick which one you're going to be. And if you do want to go for a limited company, make sure you do it for £12 using Awesome and the link below, okay? To save the whole headache of having to set it up yourself. It takes just a few minutes. So the next stage is hitting the 85,000 in sales, guys. Now, you might feel like we're jumping forward a bit here, but I need to prepare you for what's going to happen next. Hopefully, as I say, you're going to make some good profit. You're going to get some good sales over the next few months of starting your e-commerce company. And then hopefully you're going to reach 85,000 in sales within a 1 year time frame, within 12 months, guys. And if you do that, that means you need to register for VAT, which is value added tax, okay? That means that you're going to have to start paying HMRC for 20% of everything that you sell. But don't worry, it's okay. It's not as bad as it sounds because you also get to claim back VAT on a lot of stuff as well. VAT becomes a lot easier once you get into it, guys. But that's a brief summary of everything. What's going to happen next is that you're going to get used to filing your accounts on a yearly basis and doing your VAT every quarter or every month, okay? The VAT is done every quarterly as a minimum, or every month if you need it like that, so that you'll rather pay in monthly installments instead. With the accounting, you're going to have to do the accounting on a yearly basis, and if you don't have an accountant from the start, you're going to have to make sure that you're keeping track of all the documents, all files that you have, so that give it around 8 to 9 months in, you're going to have to start preparing them to HMRC and send them these final first year documents at the end of your tax year, or you're going to have to hand them to the accountant, okay? Now, quick warning here, if you leave it to the last minute to get an accountant, it doesn't mean it's going to be cheaper. I used to think that if I don't get an accountant until 8, 9 months in, I'm going to save the 8 or 9 months of the accountancy fee. Wrong. When I did that myself, I had a massive bill, I think about £1,200 to £1,500 to pay to backdate all of that data. So it's actually cheaper in many ways and much more in control. Okay, it's a much more in control and in order thing to do just to get an accountant from the off. So guys, I hope that video's helped. That was a full summary and the difference between, look, normal accounting and e-commerce accounting. It's completely different. Don't let some normal accountant that's trying to get you as their client to just feed you a load of rubbish, okay? It's a big difference. You need a specialist. If you want to check out Awesome, get it below £100 off. I will see you in the next video.